everyone, how's it going? It is Monday. Monday. Here we go. Let's get it started. Alright, so how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's well, and I got a surprise episode. I'm going to do some really cool stuff today and talk about a lot of fundamental analysis about not just our market in crypto, but all the markets in general in the United States, and why I am calling for a crash. This is going to happen, guys, whether we like it or not. And so that's something we have to understand is a reality. So let's see who's here today. I want to say hi to everyone before we start. Todd, nice to see you on YouTube over there. Guys, if you're on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, like and share if you're on Facebook. Would love that. All right, let's see who's here. We got CJ, Fami, Mike, and Peter, Andre, Schmitto, Numo, and Lily. Great stuff. Oh, have I changed my mind about XRP and what do I think about Theta token? It's looking good. Lily, if you go on, I think it was my old channel, my name Joel Hofshoff, you'll be able to find my Theta token review. I'll try to post it in cryptocurrency education. I'm gonna write it down right now. There you go. Oh yes, and XRP definitely starting to change my position, guys. You're gonna be really curious to hear how that changed and why. Definitely have to thank some people for that in terms of opening my eyes to it and making me get my head out of my butt in terms of the fact that I really did turn my head the other way in terms of my research. I just felt like I didn't like it because it was Bitcoin, and now that I've done research, it's going to change, guys. I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to tell you all about that another day. Today we're focusing on the stock market, the bond market, the crypto market, the housing market, and why 3 out of the 4 are about to crash. Well, I mean, we already had one crash, so we know that crypto is not going to go any further down. So let's talk about where the hell it's going. Holy hell, XRP, Joel. Yep, well, we're seeing it come down. All right, so Brian, nice to see you. Josh, Art, nice to see you on there. Leroy, I see you. Don't worry, you're on YouTube and I can see that. Ellen, nice to see you. Mark and Jethro and Deshaun. What's up, guys? So let me jump right into it and get on to what I'm actually trying to tell you here today because it's pretty sweet. So just let me put that up on the screen right here and we'll get started. So are you guys ready for this? Because I'm telling you right now, you need to be, because this is actually big stuff. What I'm about to show you may open your mind a lot. It may open your eyes a lot. So I hope you guys are ready for that. It's going to be pretty sweet. So behind me right now, as you can see, is the S&P 500 index on a monthly. Okay, this is pretty much for the last 10 years. Okay, so 2008 is all the way over here. Sorry, over here, and right now we're right above me. So can anyone that's watching this see what's happening in S&P 500 and what might start to happen next? So give you a couple seconds to process that and think about it. What do you see happening next for, for our S&P 500 index? Now, of course, nothing's gonna go to nothing, but what stage are we in right now in a chart psychology? If you're looking at S&P 500, where are we at? I want you guys to tell me where we're at. Marcos, nice to see you over there. Denchik says, Troy Tupley here, yo. What's up, Troy? Can't figure out how to get my YouTube name changed back. It's all good. I think you have to like go through your settings and do something. I can't remember either, honestly, to tell you the truth. Sean, what's up, man? How you doing, brother? All right, so if you want to comment, please do, guys. Keep those comments flowing through. I want you guys to answer and engage in the conversation here today. So what do you see on the chart above my head right here? Where is it? I'll tell you where it is, but I want you guys to at least take a guess. Where are we going right now? So this chart has, for 10 years, grown. 10 years. Tether being printed to pump stocks as well. Maybe. I don't think so, but maybe. I like that, Miguel. That's pretty funny. So what is actually happening here is for the last 10 years, we've gotten out of that depressive 2008, and we've grown. And we've grown. And we've grown. And check this out. We've grown so much in the last 10 years that this is literally right now the longest bull run in history ever. Let me just say that again so you guys can process that. Right now, the US market is in the longest bull run in history. Yeah, take that one in for a second. Tell me what happens when we go up. Just think about it. Leroy, you got it. Todd, you got it. Whatever goes up comes down. Okay? We have all learned that recently. Have we not? Yes, we have. We were all euphoric in January, in December. And then we were depressed, like right now. Let me show you the next one, just to keep opening your mind, all right? Here's what's next. The Dow Jones. Didn't you guys see a similar pattern here? Let me just move this over a little bit so you can see clearer. What do you see above my head here? Just take a guess. What are you seeing? What you're seeing is this. You're seeing, for the last 10 years, the Dow Jones also has gone parabolic almost. Or, shall I say, maybe it is hopeful, or more than hopeful, euphoric? Are we getting to the point where we're about to come down? Why do you think I said stocks are about to crash? It's not for no reason. And I got more evidence to show you guys to prove it. And this is why you're watching today. Next one. The NASDAQ Composite. Do we see another similarity here? Looks like crypto in December. Thank you, Street Glider. You are getting it very clearly. I'm telling you guys, after this video, you're going to tell your friends about this. Because what you're seeing is fact. And fact is not something you can argue with. And what I'm showing you right here is not only the NASDAQ, not only the S&P 500, not only the Dow Jones, all of them have gone parabolic. All of them have grown without a very large bearish run for 10 years straight. Record setting. Now, whatever goes all the way up that far, gotta come back down. Fibonacci corrective patterns have to happen. Retracement, it's gonna happen. Okay, so is the stock market gonna crash? Yeah, it's coming, guys. If you don't think it's gonna crash, God help you when you burn, because it's gonna burn. Because this market, stock market, is about to go down. It's gonna happen. And now that I'm telling you to get ready for it, get ready for it. It's coming. I'm not saying this to waste my breath. I'm telling you guys right now, the stock market is about to crash. In the next year, it is gonna crash. It's gonna have a huge correction. Get ready. Hold on. Get ready for what I've been talking about in my last video when I compared crypto and stocks for the flippening. We're about to flip the script on the whole entire world. You're about to see this whole entire thing come crashing down. This is not FUD. This is just fact. This is history. This is chart psychology. And I'm about to tell you some stuff. And I know this is huge. And it's a big call. But it's coming. It's coming. Records were set. Crypto dumped. There we go. Oh, no. I'm not Bitcoin Ben, Mike. I'm telling you right now, this is not a hell of a prediction. This is going to happen. For sure. In maybe not the next year, but it's going to happen in the next year, 2 years. The stock market's going to crash. Now, why? Yes, actually, Ryan is not that far off when he says we're going to have everything crash. And I'm going to show you why things are going to crash. Now, does that mean everything is going to go bad and we're all going to die? No, nothing horrible. It's not going to be 1920s again, guys. But it's going to correct. And it's going to correct sharply. Because if you look at the patterns in history, we always have 8 to 10 year bull runs. Right now we're at 10 years and past the longest one ever. So it's only a matter of time. You guys can't be like the crypto people in December saying it's never going to come down, it's going to keep going up. Whatever goes up this much on the left of me from 1,000 to 8,000 is going to come back down. It's going to, for sure. And we're talking about stocks going from 1 to 8,000. Okay, we're not talking about crypto. So that's even more intense, right? Think about that. See, I don't know if it's a couple months or years, but here's what's going to happen. It's going to happen, okay? Get out a stock, get into crypto. This is what I'm telling you guys, right? I'm not saying this to, like, be a tin hat person. I'm saying this because it's going to happen Man, people said to what's his name? The guy from The Big Short. People called him crazy too. But here's the thing, he saw loans that were bad. I'm seeing charts, okay? Technical analysis is not wrong. It's not. You think more like years. I'm telling you, Mike, it's not going to be years. After I show you all the evidence tonight, if you think years, you and I can make a friendly bet between each other and we'll see when it is. But it's going to happen. And I know, Mike, you can agree with me on at least that point, that we're about to have that happen. And there's no way in hell we're not going to have a correction with this much growth. It can't sustain that. You got to be realistic and know that the sustainability of growth cannot keep going. We all learned that recently, and we're about to see it again. And then comes the flippening. Then comes STOs. Then we have security token offerings. We have people get out of stocks and into crypto. They see the benefits. They see the liquidity. They see the 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year market always open. Think about it, guys. Think about the first time you could eat a 24-hour McDonald's. It was awesome when you were at 3 in the morning, you were hungry, right? Well, this is the same thing for all these companies, and it's going to come down to this. It's coming. And I know it sounds crazy, but 4 or 5 years, Mike, you're telling me that the longest bull run in history is going to have 5 more years before a correction? I'm telling you right now, I would make a bet for a Bitcoin on that one, for sure. I will bet you a Bitcoin. That's how much I'm sure, because I've looked at this market enough to know it's coming, for sure. And not only that, we also have crypto going to come back. And when crypto comes back, you're just going to it's going to keep pushing over. The financial revolution is going to start when this stock market goes down. And it's going to go down. Apple can't stay $1 trillion. It's too goddamn much money, guys. Be real here. The more realistic you are, the more you're going to see this is actually going to happen. And I'm not yelling at you. I just want you to wake up and smell the coffee, because everyone's going to tell you it's not going to happen, and it's going to happen. They will jump in with bailouts. No, they won't. Not with Trump there. Trump ain't going to bail anyone out. You got to be realistic here. That guy doesn't give a shit about what every other president's ever done. He is not going to bail anyone out. I'm telling you this for sure. Crypto is going to be the bailout for all the companies that start to fail. That will happen. And I swear to God, it's going to be so awesome when I rewatch this video in a few years. And I'm not going to rewatch it to say I was right. I'm going to rewatch it to think, wow, I had good fundamentals. That's why I care about, man. And this is why I'm telling you this. So US dollar is going to be dead. These bad loans are going to go away, and it's going to crush them. It's going to crush the US dollar, and everyone's going to jump into crypto. Now, this is not happening today. Everything's going to jump into crypto will take 10 years. Be realistic. I'm not living on a different planet here. It's going to take time. But I think the corrective nature of this pattern right here, this is the bond market. You see something similar in the bond market? Why are bonds going parabolic for this long? Think about that one. Bonds. Bonds have gone from 2008, right beside me, that low, all the way up to that. You guys think it can continue going up? What I see, you guys remember the euphoric peak? The euphoric peak is right on top up here, right there. You see that peak right there? That's when we start to come down. You remember we went up again in January? That's what's above my finger right here. We went up again in January. Okay? Now we're going to come down. Nothing keeps going up forever. And that's the fact. Here we go. Bail's in now. There you go. Everyone's ditching USD. I'm surprised it hasn't crashed already. Not sure it hasn't already. Actually, that's a good point, Brian. You bring that up. It's a really good point. Richard, I'm not saying this to scare you guys, because it's not going to happen tomorrow. Okay? Let me reiterate what I'm saying, because I think maybe some people think I'm spreading FUD. I'm trying not to spread FUD. What I'm trying to do here is this, and I'll spell it out simply. I'm trying to help you guys see what is about to come in the future. This is not going to happen tomorrow. This is not going to happen in a week or in a month. It might happen in a year or 2 years. But the point that I'm trying to make is it's going to happen. And if you know that something is going to happen, you can start preparing and getting yourself hedged into the right places so you don't get beat up if the market does drop. And it will. I'm telling you that it will. I told people when it was 19,000, it will drop down too, and then I sold mine at 17 and put it into USDT and let it come down and bought it back cheaper. Okay, that is what you have to understand, is when people tell you that, it's going to happen again. Okay, and that's where it is. Okay, let me just check out some comments here. I've been a little loafed. How's it going, Alvaro? Nice to see you. Isn't crypto helping it along? Maybe, maybe not. QE has ended, so the QE era will start. What do you mean QE? QE. What does he mean QE? I think the whales knew it was coming months ago. Yeah, Trump is good for crypto. Still seeing the next. Yeah, absolutely. Bitcoin should correct at 7,500. It's run up a lot. It has to come down. I'm not saying it's going to correct to like a lower low. It'll probably just test. That's what we have to do next. And our resident pro, he agrees with me. So there we go. All right, let me get some comments, guys. I see a lot of you guys, and I want to just see what you're saying. I don't disagree the U.S. dollar is going to fail, but I think the time that the next financial crisis will follow crypto. I do too. But here's the thing, Mike. I think the markets don't have that much longer, and crypto regulations are going to come soon. And there's a lot of places around the world that are adopting crypto, and I think mass adoption is going to push people starting to think about crypto, and the stocks, once they start coming down, will push a lot of that money in stocks. They're going to sell out and put it into crypto. I think that's what's going to happen. Now, I'm not 100% sure because I don't know everybody in the world, but psychologically speaking, that's going to happen. We already have lots of traders jumping out of stocks and going into crypto, so it's just a matter of time. Russia dumped 75% of U.S. treasuries already. Others will follow too. Yeah, guys, U.S. treasuries are going to be in a lot of trouble in the future. I believe it deeply. I sent you a PM about this. I know you're crazy busy family work, but most of my network is in traditional IRA in the States. How can we prepare to diversify IRAs? I will talk about that another day. That's a really deep conversation. How do you diversify them? Let me think about that one for a day. That's a pretty loaded question of how we can diversify a portfolio, but I will give you a video on that too, because I think that's a really good point that you brought up. Please do send me a DM on it though. Simple Roth, etc. to put blockchain crypto inside them. Maybe. I'd have to look and see honestly what you have. And quantitative easing. Yes, okay. And it's yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, Schmuggle, 100%. That we are definitely at the end of the point where we're done. And I'm gonna tell you guys in a minute. Just give me a second. I'm gonna show you the next chart. So as you've seen, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones Index, and now the bonds all are euphoric. Okay, we're very close to that euphoric state. Keep that in mind. Okay. The stock market will be crippled, so everyone in the stock market will have to move to crypto. I don't think it's gonna be as crippled as people think. It's gonna take time. It's gonna be slow. Like our crypto took 8 months, 9 months to really bottom out, and stocks move a lot slower. So it might take a longer time going down, but it's gonna happen, and people are gonna jump out. I think that's definitely happening. Should you sell some crypto for curiosity and then buy it back at the bottom? Danny, that's a really personal choice. I would say do whatever makes the most sense for yourself. If it's a risk that you are willing to take, if the market does move up more, then that's okay. If it's not, just leave it. That would be my best advice for you. The Fed is getting trapped, and they likely hike their interest rates beginning of this. Yeah, and once they start hiking the interest rates, the first thing that happens is crypto is going to start moving. Yes, that I couldn't agree with. It's going to happen. Yeah. So, Mike, I don't know the timeline. Like, sorry if I said in a year and that seems too little, but I think because we've been in a 10-year bull run and we surpassed the length of the longest one in history, there's only a matter of time. And the last one that went this high, unfortunately, was the tech bubble in 1990s, and we all know how the dot-com bubble ended. Yeah. I'm not going to go further than that. You guys can definitely put 2 and 2 together and understand, okay, yeah, that does make sense. You're smart. I know that. All you guys watch me all the time. I talk to you all the time. You guys are really intelligent. You can figure that out. And you can see that timeline is, like Yasser always says, our TA guy, he always says time is really hard to tell. You can't say like it's going to be in a week or a month, which he's right. But I think within the next year or two, the market has to correct. It's just it can't keep going. The sustainable growth has to stop at some point. So I don't, however, see it happening before 2020. You might be right, Mike, because, I mean, we're already, like, what, almost at the end of 2018. 2019 won't be that far away, so it could be that long. That could be just over a year, where I said a year. It could be a year and 3-4 months. That's fully legit, man. Preparing means to buy Bitcoin and Litecoin and move coins into cold storage. Yes, that's true. Absolutely. Get some stuff in your cold storage. I have mine in my Trezor, and you should have one on yours too, guys. It's really important. Hi, Michael. Nice to see you here. Right. So, opinion of Verge. Guys, my opinion on Verge is this. Don't buy Verge if you don't believe in what projects they're partnered with. So this is not financial advice. It's just saying, like, you have to look at the partners that they have, and if you believe in what they're doing, then fine. But I don't like it. It's not something I would hold personally. Yasser, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? So But you, but you only seem to be looking at it from a purely TA viewpoint. We need to consider sentiment, and we are in a different time in the world. I agree with you, Mike. I don't disagree with you. I think we both agree on the same concept, and both agree that the markets are basically about to drop, but we don't know exactly when. And so maybe we're arguing about something both of us don't really know for sure. But technical analysis is definitely showing us that this has to correct. And I'm sure Yasser watching can chime in on that because he actually is from the stock market originally. So he could probably give us a good viewpoint on that as well if you want to, Yasser. And so nice to see you, Matthew, and nice to see you, Tommy. Great seeing you guys. Digibyte's a great coin, guys. Over time, it will do really, really well. You just have to be patient for the big money to start coming into crypto, and you're going to start seeing. And one of the reasons why my stance on XRP is starting to change is because I started to follow the money, and it started to make a lot of sense. So yeah, Mike, trading is based on sentiment. That's true. That's true. So first ever blockchain based polling app has launched. ClearPoll. You should do live polling on your streams, bro. Blockchain tech being used live. That's sick. I'm gonna check that out, man. Thanks for the feedback, man. ClearPoll. All right. Thank you, brother. I love when you guys give me feedback and you give me stuff to learn about. That's wicked. I'm gonna tell you, good morning, Joel. Good morning to you as well, Miguel. Digibyte is not as accessible as other coins. That's true, and Miguel, it's still done really, really well traditionally. So imagine once it gets onto like a Binance, for example, and that probably will happen at some point. I think they just no one's really in a rush to pay $5 million to get on Binance at this point with the market the way it is, but it will come back and it will be strong. And I hope the DEXs start taking over some of that power too, because there's a lot of money going into centralized exchanges right now. I've been a Forex trading 15 years based on TA sentiment. I know, Mike, you and Yasser are both trading pros. I know that Forex wise, it might be okay because, you know, it should be okay to trade fiat against other fiat pairings. And I know that now you have these markets where you can trade crypto against fiat as well. So that's another interesting market as well that you can jump into and look at. Did you see the DX post? You will be able to buy Digibyte with cash directly from your bank. You damn right you will, Sean. I didn't see that post today because I was with Serby. You guys may know him as Serby. He's our bot developer. He's in town right now. He's actually sitting right over there. So there you go. You need all three parts of the puzzle. I agree. Mike, I agree 100%. But I also think there's things that people aren't looking at as well. All right, let me get some comments. Wow, you guys are great. Failing countries' economy are converting into cryptos are ready to get away from the U.S. dollar. That's true. Did your financial planner lose his or her shit when you told them what you were doing and you made transfer without any taxes or penalties? Nah, I was just talking with Fidelity representative. They all acted somewhat interested. Oh, interesting. I love that you guys are having a chat between each other. That's good. So, I agree with you, Mike, that we need fundamentals and technicals. You got to look at it in all three sides, sentiment, etc. I agree 100%. You're not going to have me argue with that at all. Absolutely not. What I think is that we all know it's coming, and I want people to be prepared, whether it's in a month from now or a year from now or 2 years from now, whenever we think it will be. It doesn't matter when we think it will be. This video is to help people understand that it's maybe a good time to start hedging a little bit into other things. If you're very heavily invested to stocks and you're up, it would be a good thing. If I'm personally doing it, I would be selling some of my stocks, not all of them, but some of them, knowing that something might start to happen in a negative way, and hedge 50% of my money out the market. Now, this is just a plan you can use, guys. It's not financial advice. You can just do it if you want to try something different. You don't have to do it, but there's things that you can try and do and make it better. So it's first rolled over from 401k to a traditional IRA. There's no tax hit. After it was deposited IRA, I had a facilitator assets knowledge. Okay. See, I don't know much about the U.S. tax laws, guys, so I'll try to actually get a professional presenter. I know some people now, because of doing a bunch of shows and stuff, that I can potentially hook you guys up with for tax questions. So I'll try and get that set up for you. Yeah, Colombia's offering tax fee, absolutely. There's so many good things happening in crypto, guys. Do you agree with that? Do you agree that crypto has so much positive sentiment coming right now? I don't know. What do you think? I'm fully hedged, dude, between traditional Forex stocks. See, Mike, if you're hedged, you're fine. You're going to be fine. And I know this is what you're going to do. If you have stocks and the stock market starts to go down, you're going to hedge them into crypto and forex. Of course, you know you're going to do it. It's not even a thought. So, as a trader, you know you're going to do that. Hyperinflation will definitely get a lot of the US dollar and other currencies as well. And also recently, gold and silver. Great hedge, Mike. You always go into gold and silver when markets look like they could potentially drop. And they look like, really, behind me, they're going to drop. Here's another one. Can anyone guess what market this is behind me? And what A is on this side? What does A stand for? Where are we? This one's going to make you go like, holy crap. You're sifting between YouTube and Facebook to see all the comments. Awesome. That's what I do, guys. That's pretty cool. Now, this market is a really special one. It's one that has led to various, things happening in the past. Can any of you guys, I know it just popped up on the screen, but can any of you guys guess what market is behind me? So I talked about the bonds, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, I talked about Dow Jones, and we saw that all of them have done this. Parabolic, 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 parabolic on 10-year charts. So obviously they've grown immensely, right? Which one is this one? The blue behind me is not, it's just drawn in where it might go, but which one is it? Elliott waves, the ones missing will be heading south. Just look in the top left corner. Ah, damn you. I did let you know. Sorry, for me, when I look at it, Mike, it's like really small because it split screens on my screen and it's only like, it's like a quarter of my screen normally. So, yeah. Now, here we go. What's Yasser got to say? At this point, the market moves are dictated by traders. Confidence level has fizzled out dramatically from December height. Most were buying because of the parabolic gains, not for any other reason. Blockchain pursuits and crypto enthusiasts who invested in crypto and are so few. TA price points will move the market more fundamental analysis does. That's true. Of course, they work together. However, traders looking for profits, buying and selling, and creating market movements. Absolutely. And there's also like bots that make market making too, which is another thing that I've been looking into, and that's another thing as well. So yes, derivative. Oh man, you guys are so intelligent in terms of like the economic markets, and that's great. This market is a really big one if you live in the U.S. Okay. What's the problem in Canada and the United States as of right now? And we've been saying this for a while in Canada, and I think Canada's definitely got the same problem as some parts of the United States. This is the housing market right behind me. In the housing market, the last time it touched that yellow line right around there, we had our huge, and what do you think that is from that top on the far left to down the bottom where it says A? That was the 2008 housing market crisis. Now, since then, look where we've gone. Another example of something going virtually parabolic over the course of 10 years. This is why I'm so sure, technical analysis wise and other things, when you do fundamentals and you see everything is run up, it's got to come down. It just has to. So we'll see. Only once institutional funds come in and is regulated will fundamentals matter more. I agree with that absolutely, Yasser, but what about the stock market? Do you agree with that in that market? Because in the housing market, bond market, and the stock market right now, it is very primed for a big drop. That's what's happening. Good time to sell your house, guys. Yeah, it is. I had a conversation with 3 people today telling them, like, if I lived in the United States and I lived in Seattle, if I lived in New York, if I lived anywhere that the housing market is expensive like California, I'd be telling people don't buy a house right now. Wait for the market to go down. It's going to come down and rent and chill and then buy back in a few years when it dips. It's exactly what Miguel just said as I was explaining it. Amazing. Now, I want you guys to look at this chart. So I made this myself, and I want you to look at it and really just pay attention to what I have done here. It's hard to see, I know, so just bear with me, make it as best as we can here. And so I'm just gonna try and see if can you all see this? I hope you all can see this. It should be nice and clear. This underneath me right here is chart psychology of crypto markets and other markets, right? And then above me right here is Bitcoin. Okay, what you can see here in this chart is mind-blowing. Look at how identical this chart is to this one. Do you see similarities? because I sure as hell do. There are so many similarities, and I drew this so that you guys could see where the crypto market actually is right now. And if I'm wrong, I don't know how it's even possible, because this is almost a mirror image of what you see here up there. Do you agree? Because what I see here is this. We were at anger. We were there. We were all angry that the market went down. It pissed us off because it went up a bit and then it came back down even more. And we were like, oh my God, it went to almost $10,000 and now it dropped again. We're all pissed, like, what the hell? This market's never going to come back. Then it goes up a little bit, recovers to like 8,000, drops hard. Then we go to that spring where we hit like 59. Boom, we popped up. Now we're at the point where we are over here. And right about the test, when we got back to 6,000 something, and I think we're right at that end of the depression right now. So where we're going is actually, we're at this place right under my shoulder is right here, the depression age, and we're going towards disbelief. And so what will happen is when we get closer to, like, if we burst through 7,500 and go to 8,000, we're going to start feeling like this is going to dump, it's going to not dump, blah, blah. And it probably will keep going, and then it will start to drop again. And then we'll come on to the other side of the chart here, and we'll start to have recovery near the end of the year, and people will start feeling hope. I don't think we're going to get euphoric this year like we did last year. It's going to take longer. It's going to take into next year. It's going to take for STOs to really start up and get more people involved and get more people with KYC and actually really get the market, up and running like a more like a traditional market, with, methodologies of how things get done in the market. So we're moving right now towards disbelief. That's where we're headed. And this is why I think right now you see all the other markets are right over here. They're right there, They're all euphoric, thrill, belief. They've already gone through that. Some of them look like they're in complacency now, like the bond market looked like it. And so we also saw actually the NASDAQ also looked like it was complacency. So we never know. But where I'm getting at is here is this. We're going to see a drop. And because this is at the bottom, we're going to see the money that goes from the top go into the bottom. People aren't stupid, and traders and people that run funds, they know exactly what they're going to do when this happens. And that's why I'm trying to get you guys to see it before it happens, so you guys can make better decisions for your families, so you have better financial freedom later in life. It's the whole reason I do all this stuff, guys, as you guys know. So, couple questions, then I'm going to just do a little news. I'm going to leave because I know it's been a while. What's the question? We need to go through 8,500 for first confirmation of market reversal. So there we go. 8,500 is where we're looking for. I think we're going to drop before that, but we'll see how everything goes, because as Yasser said, this market is much more based off fundamental analysis than it is technical analysis at this point, because there's not enough volume of funds in the market yet. September 30th might have real capulation there if the ETF gets rejected. Yeah. Absolutely. We could definitely, I don't think we're going to get capulation at all. We're going to be like, ETF's not going to get approved. And here's what I'm going to tell you is going to happen, Miguel. It's not going to get approved. I'm pretty sure it's not going to get approved. It's not FUD. I'm quite sure that we won't have an ETF this year get approved. It's going to be stayed until February 2019, which will make it the last choice. Okay. So we're likely going to drop at least one more time, unless they keep printing off thousands and millions of dollars of Tether. We should see a drop, but $100 million gets printed and we don't have our normal Monday dip. Interesting, right? I think that's really interesting. So postpone. There you go. So I think that, yeah, it'll be postponed. It'll be stayed or postponed means like it'll be weighted onto the last choice. And even then, I don't know if an ETF is the best thing for our market. And the reason I say that is because then they start writing paperback loans, which have nothing backing them. And then Bitcoin gets, like it becomes the same system as now. And so we have to be really careful about that with ETFs, that people aren't just like not actually holding as much Bitcoin and selling more paper wallet, like IOU style. And so that's what we really have to be careful for. So we have to look at that. Yeah, you're expecting that as well. What do you expect? We'll drop likely. We're not going to drop for the spring. We already had. I'm pretty sure we already had our spring right now, and I think we're going. We're going to drop a little bit to test. That's what we're trying to go towards. Where you see the test right down, right over here. We're either going to drop to that test that lower low, and then we're going to jump up and go even higher. So that's what we'll see. Okay, now just to talk about a couple things around the world that happened this week. Let me just fix this up here, and I'll get it ready to go. Okay, so a couple things that have happened this week. So first things first, we have Russian police seized 22 cryptocurrency ATMs, and they were under the Central Federal Bank's request. Pretty interesting there, if you might ask me, because they basically did some really shady stuff there to take out all their ATMs. I think that's kind of shady stuff, but hey, what can you do? Now, ETF will be proposed. What's going on with ETC? ETC is a great coin, guys. They have DEXs on their, they have Radix deck, and the thing is, ETC is the original Ethereum, and there's been teams of people working on it for the last 2 years since it had the parity hack and the parity DAO hack. And the funny thing is, it never actually hacked Ethereum. It hacked their smart contracts. So something to keep in mind is the original Ethereum is ETC, and it's a very good coin. It still has a lot of use case. So don't let that one out. Second thing, Tom Lee still thinks we're going to hit $20,000 in 2018, and even though we're having a lot of struggle in the markets, he sees it. Now, I don't know why he sees it this year. I think we're not going to get to 20K this year. I really believe we're going to be 13 to 15K at the end of the year. That's my prediction, but personally, don't hold me against it if I'm wrong, but I think that's where we're actually probably going to be at the end of the year. If I'm wrong and we're higher, amazing. But that's what I realistically think we're going to go to. I think it's going to take longer. We're going to have slower growth this time, like the stock market had, but it's gonna be faster but slower than it was last year, for example. So faster than the stock market but slower than last year. Hold Vetter Thor, I do hold Vetter Thor. It's one of my nicer bags. It's probably about 5 to 8% of my portfolio, and I think that getting free Thor is awesome, and you should definitely get coins. Some of your cryptocurrencies should be giving you derivatives, dividends, being able to be staked, etc., because you should be getting paid for holding coins if you're holding them. And some of them don't do that, but some of them do. And it's really important to look at the Neos and the Vets of the world to get something back for holding them. So that's something to just keep in mind, because gas, if you had a lot of Neo like from Ant shares, and when gas came out, oh my God, you'd have been rich in the bull run, because gas was like $30 at one point. So that's the point. All right. Last but not least, this was a really interesting story that came out today talking about the petro, and it actually probably doesn't exist, nor does the oil reserves it's backing, and nor does the gold that it's backing. So this is pretty big statements, if you'd ask me, for the Venezuelan government to be called out, saying basically there is no petro and they're just taking all their citizens' money and they're not going to have any money for anything later, and they're going to have this petro that's worthless. So that's something to really keep your eye on and be careful with. So there you go. You agree with 20K, but again, time analysis is a very difficult tool to get 100%. Yeah, I agree, Yasser. I think 15, between 13 and 15. If we hit 20, I'll be ecstatic and elated, but it looks like our market will move slower this time, and I'm okay with it moving slower, honestly, because it will show more stability. And as a trader, that's not as good, but it's good for the market in terms of people coming in and adopting crypto. So that's where I'm at. All right, so that's pretty much it for today. I've been on probably about 40 minutes or so, so I'm going to get off now. It was great having you guys today, and I'll see all you guys on Wednesday. Look out for a video from me. I'll be doing some little videos here and there, just short clip videos to help you guys learn and tell you about any big events like crypto crimes, etc. That's coming. So keep tuned for that. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Start thinking about me coming on around this time, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, my time, which is like 40 minutes ago right now till about right now. This time period will be generally when I'm on almost every single time. So hopefully I can see you around. Mike, no hard feelings. I don't care if you think I'm wrong time-wise, because no one's right time-wise. I just know it's going to come and it's going to happen, and maybe it will be 2 years, but just because of the time constraints right now of the bull run being so long and being record-setting, to be 2 more years would be a really, really it'd be over record-setting. So that's the reason why, fundamentally, I think that, you know, it's got to come down, but you might be right. It might take a little bit longer than I thought, and that's all good, too. Anyways, see all you guys on Wednesday. Have a great evening, and Cryptocurrency Education with Coach K. Sign off for the night. See you guys later.